So in this video, we're going to look at the multiplicative. Ooh, that's a terrible looking day. Property of equality with decimals. And again, this is just fancy terms for we're solving equations. That's all we're doing. And so in this case, our equations are going to have decimals in them. We've been doing this with whole numbers, with integers, with fractions, all of these different things. So this is no different. So for example, the problems are going to say solve. And so here's an example. Maybe solve 7x equals 11.2. So again, I'm going to look, here's x, right? In this case, the 7 is being multiplied. And so remember, to solve this equation, we want to do the opposite of the operation to get the x by itself. So since the 7 is being multiplied times the x, we're going to divide. Remember, we have to do it to both sides of the equation. So divide the left-hand side by 7 and divide the right-hand side by 7. The 7s are going to cancel. And we're going to be left with x equals. And so we just have to take 11.2 and divide it by 7. And I'm just going to do that in my calculator, and it actually turns out to be 1.6. So these problems really aren't anything different than all of the other solving problems. So here's another one. 4 is equal to y divided by 12.8. So again, if I look at this, I'm trying to get the y all by itself, but it's being divided by 12.8. So I want to do the opposite of dividing by 12.8. So the opposite of dividing by 12.8 would be multiplying by 12.8. And I have to multiply both sides. So I have to multiply the left-hand side and the right-hand side. On the right-hand side, the 12.8s would cancel, so we'd be left with y. On the left-hand side, 12.8 times 4 ends up being 51.2. So y in this case is 51.2. And so these problems really don't get much harder than this. Here's another one. Maybe 3.2 is equal to x divided by 1.7. So again, the x is being divided, so the opposite of division is multiplication. I'm actually going to rewrite this problem so I have a little bit of room underneath here. So I'm going to multiply by 1.7 on the right hand side, and I'm going to multiply by 1.7 on the left-hand side. So remember, I have to do stuff to both sides of that equal sign. And then the 1.7s would cancel, so I'd be left with x on the right-hand side. And then I have 1.7 times 3.2. So 1.7 times 3.2 is 5.44. And so that's pretty much all that there is to do. So it's doing the same stuff we were doing before, except this time we've got some decimals.